Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're diving into an absolute masterclass that lists 73 small business ideas to start in 2026. If you've been itching to finally take control of your financial future, we are pulling straight from Entrepreneur's comprehensive guide to help you find your exact niche and launch it completely from scratch.
But before we even look at the ideas themselves, we gotta take a step back. What do you actually want out of a business? I mean, are we talking some extra supplemental cash on the side? Or maybe a total career overhaul where you ditch the 9 to 5 completely? Or, maybe you just want a better work-life balance. Figuring out your underlying why is absolutely crucial here. It's the bedrock of everything else we're gonna talk about.
Because, look, your goals totally dictate your environment. Right out of the gate, you've got this massive choice to make. Are you dreaming of that location-independent, work-from-a-beach-in-Bali laptop lifestyle? Or are you drawn to building something tangible, like a physical, community-centered, brick-and-mortar storefront? Both of these paths offer incredible freedom, but man, they require entirely different day-to-day commitments, startup capital, and operational strategies. So, to help you figure this out, we're distilling down a massive guide that lists 73 small business ideas to start right now. And don't worry, we aren't going to sit here and read every single one of them out loud to you. Instead, we're pulling out the most fascinating frameworks to show you that there's literally an ocean of possibilities out there, no matter what your current budget or background looks like. All right, here's our game plan for today. First, we've got the entrepreneurial assessment. Second, digital and creative opportunities. Third, hands-on, trade and repair. Fourth, coaching, care, and hospitality. And finally, we'll wrap up with your 7-step launch plan.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the entrepreneurial assessment.
Before you spend a single dime, you really need to audit your current reality. First up, take a hard look at your skill set and credentials. Do you already have something like a CPA license or some hyper-specialized training? Next, clearly map out those financial goals. Then, think about location viability. I mean, obviously, you can't start a boat cleaning business if you're completely landlocked, right? And finally, be realistic about your preference for online versus in-person work, keeping in mind how many hours you can genuinely commit each week. Moving right along to Section 2, digital and creative opportunities. Now, if you're the kind of person who already spends hours scrolling on your phone, you could be launching a venture with almost zero startup costs. Take UGC, user-generated content. Brands are absolutely desperate for authentic, everyday content to build trust online, and you can create that with literally just the smartphone in your pocket. Or, you could dive into social media management or affiliate marketing, where you're pulling in passive commissions just by pointing your audience toward other companies' products. And just to show you how wild this space can get, our source highlights an entrepreneur who is pulling in 6 figures a year, working maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. How? By investing in domains. He essentially buys web addresses he thinks people are going to want, sits on them, and then flips them for a massive profit. But here's the kicker. His biggest piece of advice is that he could have skipped months of trial and error and honestly saved a few gray hairs if he'd just gotten a deeper understanding of the market first. So yeah, proper training definitely pays off. All right, shifting gears to Section 3, hands-on, trade, and repair. So maybe the laptop lifestyle isn't your thing. Are you handy with a circuit board? Or maybe you've got a killer green thumb. Because let me tell you, local markets are absolutely starved for dependable tradespeople right now. Master electricians, appliance repair pros, landscapers, these services are incredibly in demand. And here's a pro tip. You don't even have to be the one swinging the hammer. In fields like general construction or house painting, you can actually subcontract the manual labor while you focus entirely on booking clients and scaling the whole operation.
Check this out to see what's really possible here. The source highlights this pair of grandparents who are making an unbelievable 10 grand a month doing a delivery side hustle. They're even treating themselves to these little workations at hotels with pools while they're on the road. It just proves that traditional, hands-on services aren't just about grueling labor. If you've got the hustle, you can totally engineer a lifestyle that brings in massive financial rewards and a ton of personal freedom.
Next up is Section 4, coaching, care, and hospitality.
This whole category is all about leveraging what you already have, whether that's your physical space, your empathy, or your specialized expertise. You could easily monetize a spare room as an Airbnb, or if you have an athletic background, pivot into personal training. Oh, and the pet industry, it is booming right now. Starting a dog walking or pet sitting gig takes basically zero startup capital. Even things like local tutoring or private chef services are fantastic ways to take your everyday skills and turn them into high-margin businesses built around real, deep personal connections.
And that brings us to our final section, your 7-step launch plan.
Okay, to actually execute any of this, you need a rock-solid foundation. First step,
Get your goals and financial projections down in a real business plan. Second, protect yourself. You've got to choose a formal legal structure like an LLC or an S-Corp. Third, and I cannot stress this enough, open a dedicated business bank account. You have to keep your personal and business finances strictly separate. And fourth, map out your daily operational, staffing, and tech needs early on so you don't get completely blindsided later.
Once that foundation is poured, it's time to actually launch and grow. Step 5 is establishing your brand identity and whipping up a sharp marketing strategy to make some noise in your market. Step 6, make absolutely sure you secure the right city or state licenses so you are operating 100% legally. And finally, Step 7, build a support network. Go find mentors, connect with fellow entrepreneurs. Seriously, they are going to be your absolute lifeline when you run into the inevitable speed bumps of running a business.
So we've covered a ton of ground today, right? Everything from flipping digital domains to running a dog-walking empire. When you're looking at a guide that lists 73 small business ideas to start, it is so easy to feel paralyzed by the sheer volume of choices. But really, there's only one question that matters right now. What specific value are you uniquely positioned to offer the world? And more importantly, what is the one single step you're going to take tomorrow to start building your 2026 empire?